Yes, so my correct people, how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing beautifully well. People, right now, we are hearing different things that is happening in the palace. We know that, according to what we heard, if you have been following my gist, okay, if you have been following the trend, you will know that they said foreign Yanifa actually came to the palace. That is the Yanifa that is from Brazil. Yes, the Brazilian Yanifa who actually came to the palace. And of course, according to what we later heard, we actually thought that they said after he left Queen Naomi's place and he went back to Ile Ife to go and meet Kabiesi and to tell Kabiesi that he has delivered the message that brought her to Nigeria, that she actually went back. But we thought she has actually traveled back. In fact, the story that is just reaching us now, they said that she didn't leave immediately because, of course, there's no how. Because when I heard that gist, I was like, Kabiesi just allowed this Yanifa to just leave, like almost like immediately. How is it like that? But it was, now the rumor is just reaching us now that she did not leave immediately because obviously it's like it was an opportunity for the palace to actually carry out one or two things. Of course, before now they have been deliberating on there's a prophecy that they said that somebody has to pray for the land, that there's a child that's supposed to pray for the land to for a kinds of cleansing, protection, and all that. Okay, we know that every morning Kabiesi always carry out a particular his morning routine of praying to the ancestors, asking for protection and everything. And the Oloris too also has their own part that they play in praying for protection and for general well-being of the people. Okay, so now what is really on ground now is that they said they needed a child, like that there are some things that has been happening that they are not really convenient, like there are some things happening, but they are like been given a concern. This thing has been giving Kabiesi a whole lot of concern. Kabiesi has been in a very deep thought lately, thinking about how you'll be able to settle these things. And now the Brazilian Yanifa that came actually share more light on that, and he actually did some consultations. And what they said, what they have seen earlier on was exactly what this woman also saw, and he has told them what they are to do. And now, right now, Kabiesi was like, okay, with this latest news prophecy now, how is it going to be like? How will it be? I hope everything will be fine and all that. They say yes, they just need an innocent child, and the child has to carry a royal blood. You understand that the child has to be royalty. It will not just be an ordinary child. That if possible, if they can even allow the prince, okay, and now the prince to carry out this prayer, that it will be very good, that it's just a prayer, nothing short than that. Okay, so now, as all these things were said, now who will be the person that will carry out this very palace ritual, this prayer, this sacred prayer that this innocent child has to pray for the palace? Now the question is, who will be the person? This is what they have been deliberating on. You're welcome back again to my channel. Nice meeting you here once again. To my returning and my new subscribers, I say God bless you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you so much for always standing by. In fact, you guys have been so wonderful. Okay, I love you guys so much. If you have been watching and you have not subscribed, subscription is free. All you need to do is just to tap on that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, so whenever I drop my videos, you get notified. Share so that others will learn one or two. And also don't forget to come down the comment section and drop your opinion, what you feel about this very gist. And also don't forget to leave a thumbs up, okay? Because as we get these gist on the street or social media, we also bring here to your doorstep. So my correct people, right now they said on this fateful day, they say reports of unrest in the Ile Ife are shared. Strangers' dreams. I mean, strange dreams. They have strange dreams in the palace. quarrels among the Oloris and whispering of, spiritual heaviness, a whole lot of things that have been happening lately, you understand? So now Kabiesi decided that it's time for a cleansing, okay, for a cleansing ritual to restore peace. And now who is the person? As he summons the Brazilian Yanifa, and who has been, staying for a while now, has been in, who has been around. And now they said the arrival was so like, the Yanifa, when she stormed the palace, they say she greet Kabiesi and chants prayers in Yoruba and also in their local language, which is, Portuguese or something like that. Okay, because they say she speaks in foreign language. Okay, and also they say she now reveals that the land needs urgent spiritual cleansing before darkness spreads further. You understand that they need urgent spiritual cleansing, because what she saw is not just like a mere thing, that they need that innocent child to render his voice, that his voice needs to be heard in prayers to the ancestors and to appease the gods of the land. And now she now tells Kabiesi that a hand must be, chosen. Yes, a hand must be chosen. A young yet spiritually, sensitive to carry out these rituals. And of course, it has to be a child that has a royal blood. It means that this child has to be from the palace, not outside the palace, because they need to see a royal child standing in the gap for the family, like actually rendering his voice, making his voice heard, making his voice known, okay, in the spiritual realm. So that's the reason why they said, this is what they said the ancestors need. They want to hear from the innocent child. They want to just like a kind of a communication, like they want to hear from the child, because obviously the child is so innocent and pure in heart, and it is only the child that can pray on behalf of the land and pray for the land that the ancestors will hear. So they said this is what is on ground. And of course, they said, in the palace, we know that the Kabiesi's children are still very young, and they said it has to be a son. And of course, who is the most oldest among his sons is none other person than Tade. And also, Tade is also a very smart and a sensitive, a child who somehow spiritually inclined, like spiritually sensitive, even though he's still very young, because there are certain things you think he does not know. This boy will just amaze you when he start, telling you or saying some certain things. So that's the reason why they're saying that, okay, it's like Kabiesi, Tadenikawo will be fit to pray to for the land, okay, and coupled with the fact that the mother is also spiritually inclined. Of course, Kabiesi himself also. So based on his birth, they believe that Tadenikawo is the most suitable person that can carry out this very palace ritual. And now they said, Yanifa called the now, Kabiesi had to send a message, because when the Brazilian Yanifa went to Akure, he didn't tell Queen Naomi on this, because obviously he didn't know that things like this were on ground. You understand? So it was when he got back that Kabesi was like, you can't just live like that. You have to stay for a while, and let's also for you to check for us, do some consultation, let us even know what is happening. Just give us your own, let us see your hand, let us see what you can also help us to do before you leave. And that was how they said the Yanifa started consulting, and that was how this one came up. And Kabiesi actually got a confirmation, because it was what they have heard in the past. It's just that they have not really taken it so serious to, carry these things out. Now, hearing this, they said, Yanifa asked that Tade should be brought, and according to what we heard, they said since it was weekend, they asked Tade to come, and they said Tade was brought. And of course, immediately they said the Yanifa blesses him with sacred water and tells him he will carry his Ifa's prayer. Like, he actually just blessed this, but they said Queen Naomi was there, Kabiesi was there, they were all there. It wasn't something sacred. They were all in Kabiesi's chamber when all these things happened. So they didn't have to go to anywhere. They are not going to any shrine or wherever. It was just ordinary water that they used. And he said, Tade has to be the one to pray this prayer because Tade has a whole lot to offer and his voice will be heard in the spiritual realm. Like if he prays, they will hear his prayer ASAP, like ozugbo ozugbo, that kind of a thing. Now they say Oloris were watching when all these things were going on. Of course, they're always in a distance and they will be peeping, they will be watching, and they will like, hey, now wow, now let Tadenikawo did this palace. Why is it that everything is always Tadenikawo they are pointing at? Everything that comes, Tade, what is going on? So my correct people, now they said that was how the Brazilian Yanifa blesses Tadenikawo and prays for Queen Naomi while Tade was on his knee. They asked Tade to kneel down and he knelt down. They prayed. Kabiesi prayed. Queen Naomi prayed. And the Yanifa prayed. And that was it. And of course, they all did the needful. But the thing is, they said Oloris were not finding this funny or easy at all. My correct people, this is what I came across on the street of social media, and I said I must come and relate with you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. To my returning and my new subscriber, I say God bless you for always coming around. Till I come your way again, have a beautiful day. Bye for now.